Let's take a look at this windshield wiper fixture. You see how it's broken? Piece of the plastic is missing here, and another piece is missing over here. Well, I fixed this before with some bonding agent, some welding, cold weld. These are the pieces that broke off. You can see the glue that's still on there. It's gonna have to be scraped away, cleaned up. I'm gonna have to try to bond this together again, do it differently. Don't know what's happening here, what caused it to break, but I have a feeling when the wiper was changed, this is when someone must have yanked on it and break. It's very old, it's almost 23 years old. So what are you gonna do? So I wanna put this stuff back because I can't find this part, and if I do find it, it's gonna be inferior. It's not gonna work right. It's not factory OEM, and this is plastic, as you know, and plastic don't last for 30 years or for a lifetime. So fixing it is not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend fixing it, but you could take a look at what's involved in fixing this fixture because you never know. You might have a rare item or a rare component that needs to get fixed, and you could fix it. Anything could be fixed. You just have to have a professional approach to it. So we're going to bond these ears back to the end of this fixture and try to reinstall it into the vehicle, see if it works, hoping that it don't break again. Let's take a look at what we can do here. This is preparing the component with these wires that you see holding the two ear to the actual fixture itself. But these wires are too, I should say, thick or of a stiff gauge. They're not able to conform perfectly for holding the pieces perfectly to that broken, cracked surface. So we're gonna have to use a softer wire, maybe a copper wire. Maybe I might just eliminate this whole idea of using this wire for strapping these two pieces together since it's already falling off. But the idea is I don't want to rely on the cold bond for holding this thing together. I want to have some piece of alloy, a needle or something, maybe a nail holding it in position like how the wire would hold it in position when you wrapped it. But that wrapping it, like I said, is not a good idea. I'm purchasing this thing. It's going to be hard to find. Even if you do find it, like I said before, it's not factory OEM. It's not going to last as long. Okay, let's take a look at the fixture. It has been bonded with adhesive, and we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to pile more of that bond, cold weld, on the back of it, not on this side. This side you want to keep it flat. You don't want to have much glue exposed in that side because that's the mating surface. This is the side we want to place most of the cold weld at. We want to just build it up there, get it thick as the material originally is so it could brace itself fixed and rigid into that location. Now here's the thing about this plastic is that it's so old, and these are metal, and you have metal working with plastic. Of course plastic is going to break at some point because this piece here is approximately 23 years old, and the plastic will get brittle and you know it will just break. So just trying to glue this thing back together is not going to work. That's why it broke before. What happened is you have to sand it real good. You got to get all that decomposed plastic or that old plastic from the surface of all the component. You have to get 100% of it done. You might have to sandblast it. It's not worth it. Trying to get in there with sandpaper, never be achieved that. So we'll scrape it with a razor blade. It's not gonna work. You just have to bond it with more and more of the bonding agent so it's thick as the side, and that will be able to hold it. It's worth the try because buying this thing is not easy to find, and even if we do get it, it's gonna be inferior. Let's get another look at the fixture. You can see excess amount of the adhesive was placed in the area that was broken. This is to build a thickness like you see here on the plastic itself so it could hold in position. Done that on both sides. I need to fill some more, But what I want to do here now is that this crack, let me take a look at this side. You see it goes from there to over here, and from down here to the other side over there, right? I want to take this nail, heat it up, and puncture it into the plastic sides, like in that position. This is gonna go from the broken piece to the fixed piece. Same thing for this side. But I want to insert this nail on this side here, that thick piece right there. So it's gonna require heating up the nail and playing with it, sending it all the way across to the other side, and then I'll fill that hole with the adhesive, reinstall the nail, and let the nail bond with the adhesive against the plastic, and this should give more rigidity to the fixture. In the event it should be flexed to become fractured from its movement during operating the window wiper. This is what we're trying to achieve with the part. I hope the camera could stay focused. You could see the nail is embedded into the plastic with the cold fusion bond, and you can still see that crack there, which is not important to us because that metal nail, as you all know, is stronger than any plastic. So I like to bang it around a little just to test it out before I put it in. Now what I have to do, before I do that, I want to just disclose this is the product that I use for bonding it, and of course a nail you could get anywhere else, and that's called a trim nail. So I want to use this wire cutter, also known as a dike, and try to chop this nail off right here. If I don't have the strength to do it, I most likely might use a hacksaw blade or some form of cutting tool, which will be easier, but I don't have a cutting tool, so I will have to resort to this and then maybe try that hacksaw. So let's try this and see. So I want to use the very tip of the tool where it's cutting. So there we go, we're successful at chopping that one off. See, it's gone. And you could just file that down for perfection. Let's try it on the other side. And that one was also successful. It wasn't that difficult for cutting those nails. The pieces still remain. I'm gonna bang it just to show you that it's not inferior. So we're gonna go and replace this and try it out. Most of the time it will work now, not like before. Can't just use this by itself. You have to have some form of structural integrity for keeping the two parts fixed to each other in the event of vibration or impact. Most likely something else will break. Thank you for watching the video. See you again for another video. I know most of you don't watch this video. I got about 10,000 subscribers, 5,000 views. Something is wrong with Google, YouTube. And as we all know, that's a fraud. So, later.